Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome to another edition of Mark of the Line on HJN. And what we got going on here is that, well, hopefully you did some good guesses out there in the comment section below or otherwise, because now let's get on to reveal my next topic, my next mark to go ahead and talk about here on the channel and in the series of Honest J. Nowak itself. This is episode number 731, and the topic is Land Rover. Oh yeah. I might as well go ahead and talk about it because, well, this is a time where, well, we once had a Land Rover. But as of January 2020, it's no more because it's been reduced to scrap. And we pretty much took out a large amount of money on it, pretty much. And we were able to use that to buy what we now have based on an SUV from back in the day, the 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. And that, of course, I've had since then, as one of my only cars that I pretty much have until I go ahead and buy my own one. But until then, let me just go on ahead and say that the many times that we've had in the 14 to 15 years that we've had with the ownership of a 2003 Land Rover four-wheel drive was certainly quite an incredible time. I don't really have much pictures on it, unfortunately, but that kind of goes to show. Maybe not everything is meant to be documented. And it's probably for a good reason. The license plate could be exposed, the VIN could be showing at some point accidentally, or maybe something else in mind could be the problem there, or a type of error. But the thing is, well, in terms of how Land Rover was in our lives, it certainly was one of those that we did not necessarily know that would do so well. For something that came all the way from England, just like McLaren, just like some other brands out there that I probably also have yet to talk about now because of this, Land Rover is certainly one of those kind of brands out there that we might as well go on ahead and share some good love and appreciation because it's yet another contender in the modern era. Here in today's time, we got Land Rovers all over the place. From the Range Rover, to the Evoque, to the Velar, to the new Discovery, to the new Defender, to the new, well, a lot of things out there. Land Rover is pretty much reintroducing a lot of its older models these days, as well as introducing some newer ones. I tell you, if an industry continues to be that big, it's certainly going to be something that'll stick around for a long time. But let's just say that the past is also quite a gift. The Land Rover itself had quite a big history going on behind it, with some of its earliest known variations of the original Land Rover itself being used for military purposes, as supply trucks or basically vehicles that were able to be used off-roads when most vehicles at the time could not be able to trek across certain dirt or sands of any sorts. Land Rovers themselves, especially the more older ones, happened to be very durable and reliable back then, which really says something about what we got for today's timeline itself. Even to this day, you could probably never go too far without noticing a Land Rover or even a Jeep out there in the Sahara deserts or in many other parts of the world where they've been used as part of safari vehicles or other types of known trucks or vans or SUVs of the sorts, or even pickups. Yeah. Land Rover had its own pickups back then. Fords had pickups, Chevrolets had pickups, Nissans had pickups, and even Mitsubishi has made a few of them. Land Rover, of course, was very unique in most ways. Of course, there was the introduction of the Defender cab itself, which was pretty big at the time. Not necessarily as big as many others in the industry that were around back then, but that really goes to say quite a lot about it. And the thing about Land Rover in terms of how it is thriving well today is just the fact that, well, it continues to offer incredible feats of both luxury, style, performance, and even the complexion of quite interesting details, amongst many things. It's essentially the English variant of America's Jeep itself. And that is quite a comparison right there, because Land Rover has specifically given us some really big first-hand looks at creating some sort of SUV, flex fueler, crossover, hybrid, pickup, any kind of body styles like those, pretty much. And Jeeps followed along with that same exact thing. Both of which have not necessarily made sedans of any sorts. Both of them had not necessarily made the typical four-door or two-door coupe sedan of some sorts. And both of them have not necessarily made other vehicles of the sorts as well. Unlike most other brands, pretty much. BMW and Ford have made motorbikes, and Chevrolet has pretty much made the hatchbacks and, well, I guess the little like compact ones right there. And then of course we have Fiat and Smart with those really small vehicles. But Land Rover and Jeep are not necessarily like that. I'll probably talk about Jeep some other time, but until then, let's just say that at this point we're probably going to have ourselves, well, quite a run going on from here on out. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.